Hello and welcome back. We are here with the Nexus Gaming Series. Division C East is the division tonight. We've got Hardstuck Support Group taking on Heavy Greg in a best-of-3 matchup. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an excellent evening. And if you're watching here on the VOD or even watching live, don't forget to go hit that like button and subscribe below the stream to get all of the excellent content upcoming. Draft is starting. Let's go to map select. See what we got here. Infernal Shrines, Volskaya Foundry, Battlefield of Eternity, and Sky Temple are banned away for tonight's set. And we're going to start things off on Dragonshire. Let's get into it. Alrighty. The Coke-Hatter is not here at the moment. Perhaps he will grace us later on. But Hardstuck Support Group first to act here on Dragonshire. Considering their first ban going to be Brightwing taken off the board. See if there's going to be any alternate kind of strategies here on Dragonshire. There's kind of a agreed way to play the map, and then sometimes you can go rogue. Sometimes you can focus a lane, sometimes you can double bruiser. These are all the things that I want to see. I'll say right now, I want to see someone pick Maiev. It's important to me. Vala banned out here by Heavy Greg. Understandable, probably the all-around best damage dealer in the game currently. See if the healer focus continues for Hardstuck Support Group. It's been a lot of Anduin as of late. Anduin is just sort of the backup save button. Tychus banned away off the top. Interesting. It could be a simple target ban, or it could be an indication that they want to go heavy frontline. Like a Johanna Blaze Hogger or something. Tahaka going to be the ban, though, from Heavy Greg. The way things have gone, Johanna first has been very popular. See if that's what they're thinking, or if they've got another high priority pick in mind. Yeah, there we go. Random Engineer locking up the Johanna first. Tychus banned away. You're probably going healer damage here, unless there's a tank you really want on the opening. If you're Heavy Greg. See what their priority is as a team here. Diablo for Farfanugan and Sith going with an early Tassadar here. Interesting. Diablo Tassadar, solid pairing, being able to create those extra walls that Diablo can use. Wave clear is good, but the survivability on rotations is a little tough for Tassadar, so going to need some extra support, possibly someone who can help ward those bushes. I don't mind Lunara Tassadar as a pairing, in just terms of splashing around the extra damage. Omar G going for the Hogger, and Lunar is actually going to be picked up by Heathen Dawn. My cats are fighting each other coming into the frame. Hey, knock it off. Goodness me. Looking at the mid-ban here for Heavy Greg. Johanna, Hogger, Lunara. No one has a healer yet, so you don't necessarily want to clamp down on that. Okay, they're going to ban the Rhaegar. I feel like this just turns into an Anduin ban then, and then we start going down the list on the healers. Hardstuck Support Group. Pulling it over here. I've already got the Tychus banned. I'm banning Anduin if I'm them, but they may have a scouting report that says differently. What do we got? There's the Anduin ban. So very likely to see a healer in this pick rotation for Heavy Greg. I'm not sure what their offlane preference is. Blaze is available, but you could do Malthael, you could do Leoric, you could do even just a brawler type like Chen, if you really wanted to, versus the Hogger here. Malthael going to be the choice here for Chim Chim, and Randy Newman opting for Lucio. Will provide a little bit of extra movement speed to a fairly immobile Tassadar, which can be helpful. Hard Stuck support group, they need a healer, they need a flex. Deckard is an option, Lily's an option, White Mane a possibility as well. Even Kerosene could be the way. Still gonna opt for Deckard. Smackloud going for Junkrat, so some long-range poke options here on the side of Hard Stuck support group. Could be a little bit countered by the Lucio, but Tassadar doesn't really have any self-healing. So could suffer from that poke damage. Synthesis on the last pick here for Heavy Greg. Gonna go for Genji. Been seeing Genji in basically every single game we've cast the last week or so. So Genji gonna try to go back there and mess with Lunara Junkrat. Johanna gonna have to watch out and get some back peels, as Deckard not the quickest at peeling away Genji. So positioning will matter, but those potions in the back can also be very useful in preventing dive kills. Alrighty. Looking at our draft once again here as we load in. Heavy Greg's draft is a little bit... It's kind of going in two directions. Diablo, Genji really want to go forward. Tassadar, Malthael. Malthael dies a little bit, Tassadar really doesn't. So I think it'll be a little bit more of a macro matchup here, but let's get into the game and see how it goes. Here we go. Game number 1 on the left and the blue, it is Hard Stuck support group. Smackloud on the Junkrat, Heathen Dawn playing Lunara, Random Engineer on Johanna, Syl playing Deckard, and Omar G is on the Hogger. On the right in the red, we have Heavy Greg, Chim Chim 19 on the Malthael, Synthesis playing Genji, Sith is on the Lucio, I think? No, Randy Newman's on the Lucio, Farfanugan on Diablo, Sith is on Malthael. That is the one. No, Sith isn't on... Who the heck is Sith on? Sith is on Tassadar. Goodness gracious, everyone's standing on top of each other. Can't see a ding-dang thing out there. That's alright, we're starting up here. Checking on our level 1 talents. Looks like we got the standard stuff here for Johanna. Wisp talent for Lunara. Got the Hoggers Joggers here. On the Prowl, the choice for Hogger. Sapphire here for Deckard. Can get that extra slow. Looks like W quest here for Tassadar on level 1. We got the Feast on Fear for Diablo. Not going with the Soul Shield that we normally see, so going to be relying on those stuns to get regeneration. And Malthael going for the Fear the Reaper to try to be able to walk away from the body blocks on the front line.
You think yourself worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power? Prove it.
Camp's up and running here. Heavy Greg starting theirs up on the right. Lunara going to go ahead and scout that out with the Sentinel Wisp. Smackloud and Syl going to start on the left. Farfanugan and Randy Newman going to come across just to see what's going on here. In terms of the level 1 fight, I think Hard Stuck support group's got a stronger one. Tassadar Genji not super strong at the start of the game. Tassadar especially really needs those talents to turn on the damage. So I don't imagine camp invades are part of their game plan. In the top lane here, Malthael going to battle it out with Hogger. Should favor Malthael if you can avoid a lot of that spin damage. Omar G going to be forced to back off here. Chim Chim holding strong in the 1v1. Genji. Testing versus Random Engineer here. See if Johanna's got enough interrupts. Johanna kind of got to watch out. Has the Iron Skin for now, but might have a blind. Omar G going to come up for the next set of interrupts. Right now, Heavy Greg really controlling the map. They've got all 3 lanes pretty well locked in. Goodness, my voice is just not cooperating today. Tassadar now with the slowing wall. Help create even more space. Junkrat stuck in the mid for now. Synthesis going into the back line will be stopped. Has the Swift Strike to get away from the Deckard route. Malthael meets Hogger, just not letting Omar G get onto the point at all here. Heavy Greg continues to maintain control of top and bottom, but Junkrat in the mid is making sure no one can grab the dragon. Looks like Junkrat's going to flank down to try to help break this stalemate. Lucio taking some hits as Omar G on the big flank. They've got Farfanugan surrounded. There's the first stun. Diablo getting those Feast on Fear stacks going. Will be healed up. Omar G very low. Sith in the backline pretty low as well. Randy Newman going in deep here to get the first kill. Heathen Dawn trying to get the hits, but Lucio, too swift, gets away from the poison. Genji and Malthael teaming up here will manage to get this dragon at the 4-minute mark. Smackloud could resist no longer. Dragon Knight going to be chewing on this mid wall. 4 members on the defense here, really wanting to get this dragon down quickly. Down to about half here. Dragon Knight going to start heading up to the top lane, mostly as a means of quick escape and being back in the rotation. Dragon Knight just going to send Hogger away a little bit before breathing some fire and expiring. Uh-oh. Jim Jim may have got a little bit greedy there. Omar G is going to try to get a pin. There's the move through. Fear the Reaper, not going to be enough. Malthael will go down. Got a bit greedy there. Stepping up for another smack on the wall. And gets punished for it. In the bottom lane, Randy Newman and Farfanugan. Diablo and Lucio not going to take this wall down super quickly, but they're going to try their best. Synthesis taking some hits from the tower there, gotta watch out. Not the strongest sieging team for now. Once Genji gets that triple shuriken talent, can take down buildings fairly effectively. Tassadar, with a couple more psionic storm talents, can start to tickle it down. But certainly nothing in the realm of Sylvanas, Vala, Greymane. Any of your usual building busters. Camp stolen here by Heavy Greg, taking advantage of their level 10s. Looks like they got the Lightning Breath, Black Hole, High Five, X-Strike, and Last Rites. 10s are about to be here for Hardstuck support group. We'll see what they're going to lock in. Looks like we've got Riptire, Stay a While and Listen, Shockwave, Thornwood Vine. Johanna still considering the level 10 is going to be. Falling Sword won't help out against a wall from Tassadar, so it will be the Blessed Shield instead. Malthael, of course, with that Last Rites is even more deadly in a 1v1 situation. Omar G is going to have to respect that. Genji going in there. Trying to mix it up as our next objective phase is primed. Jim Jim continues to work here. Omar G down past half. It's that 30% health mark that you got to watch out for. Lunara putting a little bit of a hurtin' onto Genji in the mid. Trying to Random Engineer steps up. Farfanugan gonna step onto the point to contest here. Lightning Breath onto everybody. Stay a while and listen is gonna catch two though. Here comes the Riptire. Sith is low. Getting behind the gate there. Gets the ult interrupted as Lucio will go down. Tassadar barely gonna survive. Heathen Dawn gets out. Farfanugan just regenning away here. The black hole from Sith not gonna connect there. Dragon Knight is captured. Farfanugan able to hold their ground. And that will be another Dragon Knight here for Malthael. Has the wave pressed up here onto the fort. Heathen Dawn getting the hits in with that Thornwood Vine. Heavy Greg thinking about a flank here. Random Engineer will see it. Looks like just some split pressure though. Dragon still with some health, getting some wax here onto the fort. Dragon Knight not going to stick around to find out what happened last time. One more Fire Breath should do it. There we go. Was that too greedy, though? Omar G. Oh no! Omar is kicked into the base! Chim Chim avoids this Noxious Blossom and will escape. Nice job being patient there by Malthael. How you doing, the sound? Thanks for stopping by. Ooh, the wall slam combo. Malthael going down off screen there, and Johanna will fall to the Lightning Breath. 1 for 1 across the map here. Big flank from Hogger and Lunara. Looking for Randy Newman. Trying to escape here on the low sides. He goes back. Big stun from Omar G. Sith trying to walk away here as Farfanugan is slapping to try to survive. Nice high five from Lucio. Synthesis in the mix there. Is going to X-Strike onto everyone. Has a Swift Strike to escape, but is going to be slowed by Lunara. Luckily got enough distance there. And everyone gets out. Except for Malthael, who fell off screen. Unfortunate. Overall, Heavy Greg a little bit ahead in the siege department. Uh-oh, Random Engineer coming across. Sith is going to be caught out of position. The wall cuts off everyone else from Hardstuck support group, though. Farfanugan will be cut down in the front. Randy Newman is low. Will be slapped into the edge and taken out. Tassadar falls as well. Great invade from Hardstuck support group. And they're going to try to get some structure damage of their own. Omar G's got to shed that tower aggro. There we go. Without the wave there, that's a tough angle, especially with the wall still up. But now they've got a wave to try to keep up their siege.
Harness the power of sun and moon.
Members starting to come back here. Synthesis. Synthesis not really respecting the damage here of Lunara. I think gets out alive? Yeah, just barely. Hardstuck support group, they've got their 16s. Black hole comes out from Tassadar, not going to catch anyone though as they were retreating. Hugger taking a bit to solo this camp. I think Chim Chim feels it coming. Gets the scout, but is not going to commit over the wall here. Level 4 stacks completed for Genji. Sith, is bumped in, trying to get away there with the Psionic Shift. Deckard, great combo there. Tassadar goes down, Diablo falls as well. Synthesis trading onto Smackloud. Little stun there from Deckard. Synthesis is going to get high-fived. Chim Chim in the mix now, trying to 1v3. It's a Malthael special. Will it be enough? Turns around onto Random Engineer. Taking a ton of damage, though, from Lunara. Heathen Dawn just ripping through Malthael. Trying to double back here. Will fall. Synthesis. Ooh, that'll be a Genji for a Lunara. Ends up being a 4 for 2 there for Hardstuck support group. Oh, Lucio taking half damage there from Omar G. Spinning up to the top side. Shockwave is not going to hit, but there's the stun from Deckard. Is it going to be enough damage? Lucio just too slippery. Will escape. Sith is now back to interrupt Syl. No dragon just yet. Top lane pressure continues as that camp surges on forward. Possible catch in the mid. Stay a while and listen. Gonna hit onto 2. Syl trying to get them to catch up to Tassadar here. Blessed Shield hits as well, but there's Lucio with the save. Farfanugan staying nice and healthy there on that front line, thanks to these high fives and thanks to these stuns. Now Tassadar and Genji damage are really starting to ramp up, but is it too little too late here? Black Hole goes out onto Smackloud. Synthesis under the back line. Nice job on the Lightning Breath. First takedown here. X-Strike from Synthesis trying to chase down the remaining members of Hardstuck support group, but it looks like those 4 will escape. Tassadar going to jump into Dragon here for Heavy Greg.
The Dragon Knight shall reduce you to cinders.
Heavy Greg down 10-5 in kills, but looking pretty strong on the map right now. Dragon just going to come down and finish off this fort, no problem.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Malthael trying to catch up the lane. They don't have any minions here in the bottom lane right now. Whacking away at the wall. That's probably all they're going to get unless they can find another pick here with Farfanugan. Keep wall goes down. Dragon Knight stepping up to start to hit on this keep. It's getting chunked down pretty quickly thanks to Genji. Dragon Knight is locked in, gonna kick away the Riptire, or the Junkrat, and cancel the Riptire. Omar G trying to chase forward. There's the Shockwave, hits onto 2. Synthesis in trouble, has to X-Strike, but will still fall asleep due to the Deckard. Synthesis goes in. Lunara gonna fall here, trying to trade out. That is gonna be Junkrat going down, but Genji falls as well. Syl with those self potions, able to live through the Lightning Breath. Back to a 3v3, but here comes Malthael. Ultimately, Genji for Lunara and Junkrat here. Farfanugan gets the pin, gonna get a nice flip there onto Syl. Lord of Terror comes on out as well. Syl very low. Lucio gonna be the one to go down though. Random Engineer and Omar G just running down that back line. Sith in trouble, will fall, but here's the last rites getting the takedown onto Hogger. Syl with those big potions. Just working hard here versus Chim Chim, but Malthael won't have enough to take them down. A lot of kills here in the late game, but we are 20 versus 20, and the bottom keep did survive. Oh, but the catapult is locked in. Ooh, the siege giants get interrupted, and the keep will survive.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy. Do not squander it.
Bottom camp picked up here by Heavy Greg. Working on the siege as well. Now into the late game here on Dragonshire. It's all about lane management, it's all about vision management. Lunara very, very helpful in these late game situations as long as you're active with that Wisp.
There must always be a Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight getting ready to spawn here. Farfanugan keeping a forward scout. Trying to support this camp a little bit. Top lane, Lunara picked it up for now. Camps are going to clash. Omar G is in the area. They're going to try to 2v1. Unstoppable comes out. Chim Chim with the movement speed. Will it be enough? Warps back through. Is going to try to get the trade here onto Heathen Dawn. Is there a last rites available? Omar G is low. Oh my gosh, Malthael is just wrecking. I don't know if Malthael goes down if Heathen Dawn stays locked in. Bottom keep all the while falling to the slow siege. Chim Chim. Oh no, Chim Chim back too soon. No chance to double off and get that dragon. Unfortunate there for Heavy Greg. Malthael on the way back to claim that shrine. Augur is down. Farfanugan sees the invasion onto the bottom lane. Gets onto the point here. Genji going to start the channel, and Dragon Knight goes over to Heavy Greg. Uh-oh, looks like we got a disconnect here. And we'll hopefully get our player on back here. Man, my voice has not been having it today. It's okay. We'll get through. We'll get through. Looking at the situation. Another Dragon Knight coming on down. Only 2 keeps left here for Hardstuck support group. It's going to take a big defense. See if they've got it in them. No word yet on our disconnected player, so we're just hanging out and waiting. Oh, check your posture. If you got water, now's a good time to have a sip. Oh, there we go. My cat has abandoned me. No co-catter today. That's all. That's all right. Take a little look at the builds here. What's Nature's Culling here for Lunara? It's always nice to get that siege damage in. Though you've got Junkrat on the team, so it's not a huge concern. That Herodric Staff for Deckard on 16 has got some pretty effective stuns on the Genji in the back there. That's a cool option. Full Fire Stomp build for Diablo, despite going with the Feast on Fear at 1. Psionic Storm build filled out for Tassadar. And it's the Soul Rip build for Malthael. Looks like one of our players is experiencing a little bit of a storm. Trying to get back online. Hopefully they get back in soon. We did have a little bit of weather here today. Let's do a little Discord check here. We're alright. Yeah. Alright, all good. Looks like they've got their internet back, but it's high ping at the moment, so they're going to try to let that settle down. Usually it'll settle out as long as your connection is stable. But we'll wait for word, then we will start. Nothing really to do but wait. Get some extra water in. Let's see here. Where do I live? I live in Ottawa, Canada. Looks like our player is going to try to switch to a hardline connection to see if that helps. Hopefully it does. Yeah, not too much else going on talent-wise. Everything looking pretty standard. Standardo. .103 in Nebraska. That seems pretty high for Nebraska. I don't know a lot about American climate areas, but I felt like Nebraska wasn't on the it's always 110 list when it came to states. But this summer's been just who knows what's going to happen where. It's been a total disaster weather-wise. Pretty much all around the continent. Looks like our player's still working on getting a reasonable connection here. Alright, looks like we are going to try to get back into it. Wait for the R's to come out and we'll jump back into the game. Here we go.
A hero has rejoined the battle.
Alright, we're back into it. The Dragon Knight's still barreling down the lane here. We're looking for Random Engineer. There's the stun. Follow up here from Malthael. Lightning Breath comes on out. Random Engineer picked off, but that's so much damage from Lunara. Chim Chim in trouble, trying to heal off the minion wave. Oh my gosh, is gonna just survive. Down past 20 health. Randy Newman has the cooldown. Unbelievable. Lunara getting absolutely robbed there. Core is starting to take some damage. Smack Loud detonating on top of the Dragon Knight, but the core shielding is now gone. Randy Newman trying to heal everyone up. Are they going to pressure forward? Johanna's still down. It doesn't look like they're going to try here. Starting to kite backwards. Synthesis going in after Smack Loud. That's Junkrat to go down. Core at 60%, and the shield is starting to regenerate. Chim Chim's got to watch out for that Lunara burst. They're still in a 5v3 for another 12 seconds. Uh-oh. Malthael is low. Farfanugan trying to go in there and get the shielding down. Down to 50% and dropping. Synthesis now jumping in there, and this looks like Heavy Greg have the damage. Uh-oh. No control from Hogger, but Hogger will go down. Stunned by the core. There goes Diablo. Genji falls. Core at 26%, and it looks like the defense will be enough. Sith trying to get away will go down. Malthael falls as well. Core saved at 26. Malthael is going to come back, but there's only 3 members alive here for Hard Stuck support group. Not really much they're going to be able to do here. Diablo came back. Malthael came back. They don't have Tassadar or Genji. Random Engineer. Gotta watch out for that trade by Randy Newman. Farfanugan, oh, is going in. There's the Lightning Breath. There's no Iron Skin available. Still in trouble as well. Oh my gosh, it's a double kill here for Heavy Greg. They're gonna get the siege camp and they're gonna try to run down Heathen Dawn right now. Randy Newman staying locked in but having to go away from that that trap. Hogger is about to be back. Chim Chim trying to get a wave collapse going. Core remains at 26%. My goodness. Catapults in. We got double siege camp. We also have a Dragon Knight that's about to be picked up here at the 21-minute mark. Hogger's going to have to do something about this, but Malthael already in position to take it. Omar G is going to be dismounted. No Hortipult to get onto the point. Diablo's going to channel. This will be another Dragon Knight here for Heavy Greg, which will almost certainly just be walking it into the core. Gotta be careful not to take too much damage on the way. Lunara will be whittling down that dragon pretty quickly. Random Engineer stepping up as well. Dragon Knight sends away Lunara, but is already down to half, moving into the core here. Synthesis stepping up, trying to put the Shungan onto the core. Shielding is low. Dragon Knight is about to go down. Oh no! It's happening again! Stay a while and listen catches two. Genji on the top side here trying to take it down. X-Strike onto the core, 12%. Sith throws out the black hole, and it looks like this time it will be enough. Heavy Greg will pick up the victory here on Dragonshire. GG. Wow. That was almost looking like another core throw, but this time Heavy Greg picks up the victory here. They will go up 1 point in this best of 3. Let's go to the postgame. Check out the stats here as we update the scoreboard. There we go. Heathen Dawn on the Lunara really starting to pop off in the late game there. Nearly 87,000 hero damage for Hardstuck support group. Farfanugan on the Diablo actually getting ahead of Tassadar in the end on hero damage. Almost 67,000 for the team. Excellent performance there from Diablo. We'll take a look at the talents, and we'll get ready for game number 2. Do we have a lot of smoke? We got a lot of smoke this summer. Not as much as maybe like some areas on the west coast, but the Quebec fire's burning. Just, it was weeks of it. Alrighty. Alright folks, game number 1 is in the books. We're going to go to a short break, and when we return, it will be game number 2, Hardstuck support group versus Heavy Greg. Don't go far. Shielding will hold.
Enemy spotted.
Dragon Arrow is going to stun onto 3. There's the follow-up from Rayvar. Phoenix is going to get caught. Crown in trouble. Blink Spout to safety, though. Hanzo trying to get forward here. There's the scatter, lands onto Johanna. Cyrus moving on in. Grey Color and Robot Wizard trying to move away. But a great long-range connection there from Hanzo. Polymorph comes on out. Meikano 69 gets the Blessed by the Light. Robot Wizard not going to be allowed to channel here, just in case. Jump stopped on the jump once again. Has to hit the rewind. Johanna going to be going down, though, as Diva is dancing all over the back line. There goes Rhaegar. NRA 2. There's the fear, though, from Cyrus. Mephisto goes down. Avena Quaker being chased out next. There goes Greymane. 4 kills for nothing. They're looking for the last one onto Cyrus. It's a full team wipe for NRA 2. GGs have been called. They're moving into the core. Light Bomb engaged. Krogdon gonna stun 2 on the back line. There's the X-Strike looking for Genji, or looking for Junkrat. That will be Genji still going down in trade. 1 for 1 here. Random Engineer, huge double stun onto 3 though. Conflicted and Magic Turtle going down. That's a 3 for 1 here for Hardstuck support group. And that's exactly the turnaround that they needed. Made us just a shred away. Lucio put it in the cocoon here. Los Pollos Hermanos trying to catch up. Nice drag lands onto AoE rules, but Lucio slips away. Entomb lands onto 2 here as Theo starts to move on back. Johanna finishing up the punish quest as a Dragon Arrow hits onto 3. So many low. That's Lucio going down. Grey Color in trouble. Will fall as well. Just in case, trying to run away here. Slowed down by the totem. Scatter lands, last auto. That'll be it for Johanna. Los Pollos Hermanos. Amazing work on that triple kill. Uh-oh, Drinking Burst captured on the low side. Cut off from the rest of the team for now. Fade stepping up, though. Trying to peel here. Imperious in trouble. Is going to be taken out. Twisting Nether lands onto the back line.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
OJ Juice tries to stay a while and listen, but Honganago just breaks out there. Is just completely 1v5ing right now. Tahaka and Deckard are going to go down. Cho'Gall chasing out Galaxy Quest. There goes Sylvanas. And there goes the core. YOLO diving you with a clean 3-0 over Team Happy Cloud. GG. Hook comes out, going to land this time onto Smack Loud, and that's the hook target they're looking for. Lucio going to go down. Magic Turtle is going to go down in trade, though. Hardstuck support group continues on forward. Honey Badger going to get the intercept onto Artanis. Krogdon, though, is very low. Honey Badger says, whoopsie doopsies. Killer Viper. Oh my gosh. Still going down is Artanis. 2 for 2 there in that long scuffle. Omar G. Oh, he's just going to get the solo kill. Work on this one. Meikano 69. Oh, looks like the 7 rings aren't going to give this up for free. Just in case. Warding away here. Durance of Fate does not connect. Pushing on forward as Meikano 69. Boss has been taken. Can anyone get on the point? 7 rings get the boss steal.
Nope.
But the X-Strike
Nope.
from Genji is starting to pop off. Misha and Johanna go down. Avina Quaker trying to get away here. Rayvar chasing on in. So a couple kills there for NRA2, but the boss does go over to the 7 rings. As Honey Badger goes over the wall, great stun timing. Shy trying to move away, but just not able to get back. Azmodan is picked off before this next altar phase. Willow, ooh, saved, but they get the stun onto Lumi.
I have you now.
Manages to avoid big chastise. Uh-oh, they get to throw Silver Bell too. Aggro, trying to get that kill onto Willow, is punished. Drinking Bird is locked in, getting quite a bit of damage in for Team Happy Cloud. Delta in some trouble here, has to pop the bunker. Trying to escape through the top corridor, will do so. Fade is actually going to intercept that arrow, but is now stunned out completely. Johanna chasing down 2 remaining. Drinking Bird, oh, will go down to the flash. Galaxy Quest now eating that reset down to 124. There is the Blessed Shield. Genji will fall. 3 for nothing here for YOLO Diving U. Honeycircle and crew are going to come across.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Star going to try to run down Leoric here. Might be enough damage. Yeah, there's the W, doesn't connect. Leoric is going to try to double back here and get away. Star just running poor Leoric down. He is going to go ahead and just pick up that kill. Uh-oh, Leadheart is caught. There's the Self-Divine Shield going to deny the Light Bomb. There's the turnaround. Devouring Maw does not connect, but the Cocoon does go on to Anduin. Conflicted turns it around. Big stun onto 2 to try to get Anduin on out. Magic Turtle moves away. Can Honey Badger... Hello, welcome back here. Game number 2 is setting up in this Division C East matchup. Heavy Greg currently up 1-0 over Hard Stuck Support Group. And a hard-fought game number 1 there. Heavy Greg were suffering heavy losses throughout the game, but seemed to have the lane control to control that objective and ultimately take down the core. But a solid effort from Hard Stuck Support Group to try to save that game multiple times there. Teams are now in the lobby. Almost set to go here for game number 2. I'll just give them the caster ready, and we will get going. Let's go over to map select. We are going to Garden of Terror here for game number 2, this time chosen by Hard Stuck Support Group. Opting for the map pick, see if they can bring out anything spicy. Spicy stuff. Here for map number 2. I want to see Artanis Abathur. That's the way to go. We'll see if they do it. Let's go to draft. Artanis Abathur. That's what I want to see. Who will sate my thirst for this hero combination? Heavy Greg first to act. We'll still be getting rid of Vala. Understandable. Garden of Terror, we could definitely see the likes of Hogger and Malthael return, as anyone who can solo a camp is an absolute commodity here on this map. Hard Stuck Support Group considering their options right now. What's it gonna be? They decided the Lucio was too much. We'll take it out of contention. Heavy Greg looking at Garden of Terror. Do you ban Brightwing? Those absolute Fuddruckers. They knew what I wanted, and they said, no, Krush. You can't have it. Fine. I'll wait for another game. But I'll get my Artanis Abathur. I'll get it one day. Hard Stuck Support Group, who I'm now cheering to win this series. No, I'm just kidding. Looking at their next top band here, going to get rid of Johanna. Very understandable indeed. Brightwing is available. We'll see if Heavy Greg wants that, or if they want to control maybe one of our top bruisers on the first pick here. Garden of Terror. Honestly, taking the Junkrat first would be pretty good. They're going to opt for Dahaka here. Chim Chim going for the global. Dahaka can't really solo camps at level 1. Comes in a bit later. That's not a requirement. Having a global on Garden of Terror is very useful still. Hardstuck support group looking across at the dinosaur. What is their rotation here? Still will lock in that Brightwing and Omar G, picking that Tychus rather than waiting to ban it. Tychus does put a hurting on Dahaka in those team fights, make sure that Dahaka can't just stand there forever. But a little bit short range. You know what I'd love to see here? I'd love to see some Chromie. Can interrupt from behind walls, just siege down onto that clumped back line. ETC Tyrande here from Corrosive and Randy Newman. An old school combination, but a very potent one. A lot of heroes have sort of a wind up to their ability, or, you know, it comes out slowly, evolves slowly. ETC and Tyrande, two of the heroes that just have snap CCs. Can be very deadly on these side lanes. Hardstuck support group. You see that damage is required on the other side. They're going to get rid of that Genji. Really starting to try to interrupt the draft from last game. Understandable. When in doubt, ban Overwatch heroes. That is my brainchild to you, NGS. On this particular patch, get those Overwatch heroes out of here. Blaze will be the ban here from Heavy Greg. It does leave the Hogger back up. But I believe it was Omar G that was playing the Hogger last time, so we'll see if maybe someone else can play it if they want that, or if Tychus will be swapped off. ETC Tyrande, they've got the Brightwing already, which is a solid anti-dive. See if we want to add something else. Random Engineer going for the Mei Heathen Dawn on Orphea. Mei is pretty good catch and turn versus dive. ETC Tyrande definitely going to have to pick their spots here. Maiev, the choice for Synthesis, really going in on the dive theory. Trying to gather him up. Tyrande can follow up on Maiev just as well as ETC. Sith on the last pick here, going for that Junkrat. I like to see it. Fills a similar role to the Chromie, but has a little bit more, not even a little bit more zone control. Chromie's got pretty good zone control too. I like Chromie, especially versus Tychus, because Tychus has to move forward and you can get a pretty good slowing sands regardless. Smackloud on the last pick will not have access to the Junkrat. Instead, it will be a Rexar to get that bruiser position filled. Rexar, pretty good camp taker. Looks like some role swapping for now. We'll see if it stays that way on the side of Hardstuck support group. Omar G going to the damage. Syl going to the bruiser. Smackloud onto the healer. Yeah, they're going to keep it that way. Go into their strengths. You love to see it. All right. I'd say the team fight threat on the side of Heavy Greg is pretty good. Their damage is somewhat inconsistent. We'll have to see how good Synthesis is on Maiev, but sometimes the damage output on that hero can be difficult to do. We'll see how they do. Game number 2 coming at you. Here we go. Game number 2. On the left in the blue, we have Hardstuck support group. Smackloud on the Brightwing, Omar G on the Tychus, Syl is on Rexar, Random Engineer on the Mei, and Heathen Dawn on Orphea. On the right in the red, it is Heavy Greg, Sith on the Junkrat, Chim Chim on Dahaka, Synthesis playing the Maiev, Corrosive on ETC, and Randy Newman playing Tyrande. Tyrande Owl connects. It is an omen. for how the game shall commence. Looking at our level 1 talents, looks like it's going to be the trait build here for Orphea, getting those powerful auto attacks out. Speed quest here for Dahaka. ETC going for the Prog Rock. Ooh, nice double stun there onto Random Engineer and Misha. Synthesis umbral binding onto everybody, punishing that group up. Dahaka already in the top lane here for Heavy Greg. Rexar will answer. Approaching the 1 minute mark, all of our camps will become available, and we'll have to see what the camp style will be for these teams. Collapse here on the mid, Random Engineer working against Sith. Looks like Tychus and Brightwing going to be moving as a duo right now. Ethan Dawn could be in a little bit of trouble, manages to back away from Tyrande Maiev. Maiev did not go for the Naish's Memento on level 1, so will not be soloing any camps. Siege camps being taken by both sides here. Random Engineer has the icing. He's out of range of Synthesis. Junkrat trying to get some camps going here on the top. Tychus and Brightwing keeping up their rotation. So right now Randy Newman trying to put the pressure on the top lane.
You're just in time for the seeds of my vengeance to sprout. But
Junkrat wanting to start this up. Looks like Randy Newman will be here to help out. Bruiser Camp picked up by Hardstuck support group. Synthesis seeing 4 in the bottom lane right now. That's our seed on the low sides getting ready to spawn in. Bruiser Camp is finished. We'll see if Heavy Greg can get here for an interrupt.
gather it, would you? I would
Looks like no urgency here from Hardstuck support group. Will remain as 4. Dahaka in the top lane, ready to come in if needed. MRG pushed away. Stun onto ETC, but Randy Newman using those minions to get extra healing out. Corrosive, good dodge there from Orphea, but it will be interrupted by the second ability. Junkrat having a field day as Mei is dragged into the backline. There's the follow-up stun from the Lunar Flare. Synthesis on the edge, trying to threaten. Goes in and grabs 2. Corrosive over the wall there with a showstopper. Randy Newman trying to finish up this channel. OMRG with the quarterback grenade interrupt. Resources starting to whittle away here. Corrosive will finally create enough space for Chim Chim to finish off this channel. Nifty little maneuver there. That's the level 4 for ETC. Crowd Surfer, not Showstopper. Rexar working on this top camp here. Synthesis going to see this rotation up to the mid. No one will get caught there. Tyrande scouts it out, sees that Sill's still on the camp.
We'll have another seed to gather, heroes.
Pretty even so far, no takedowns to be had. One important part of the Crowd Surfer that people don't tend to read is if no enemies are hit, reduce the cooldown by 7 seconds and refund the mana cost. So if you're in ETC, don't be afraid to use that to make your rotations faster.
Shouldn't you be gathering
Corrosive
that seed, heroes?
scouting out the backline here. OMRG, no one sees it just yet. Corrosive will step out and get the interrupt. Try to walk away, will do so. Tyrande's got the next interrupt. Sith trying to get in range here, but can't really walk up due to Random Engineer. And that'll be 1-1 on these seed points. Corrosive tries to get the slide onto Random Engineer, just a little bit off. Camps are starting to come back up again from our initial rotation. Both sides getting in on that action. Dahaka getting a nice drag there onto Mei, dragging her into tower range. Random Engineer down to a third. As 10s are about to be here for both sides, Heavy Greg slightly ahead in XP. Tyke is still trying to take down that camp, will do so. Looking at the 10s here for Heavy Greg, we've got the Containment Disc, Starfall, Mosh Pit, Isolation, and Junkrat still considering. Here comes Dahaka, Random Engineer, gonna have to pop that Unstoppable. Nice drag timing from Chim Chim. Nowhere to go. Ice Wall will land onto 2. Doesn't look like there's going to be any follow-up opportunity, though, and that's another seed going over to Heavy Greg. Junkrat's still considering that ult as we see Hardstuck support group has picked up the Ice Wall, Crushing Jaws, Draken Laser Drill, Unleash the Boars, and the Blink Heal. You know the rules. So if you wait till level 11 to pick your heroic, and you owe the team, I don't know, a Pepsi. Riptire can ultimately be the choice here for Junkrat. Because ETC, ooh, a very long slide there. Tries to mosh on the spot, but is punished for that very aggressive flank. Nice job there by Hardstuck support group. Now Randy Newman trying to get away here. Polymorph comes on out. Random Engineer on the edge. There's a nice double heal, though. Synthesis will be caught. The stun doesn't land. Does Randy Newman heal? No, it ends up being a triple for Hardstuck support group. Keeping up the siege in the bottom lane as the next seed's getting ready to gather. Draken Laser Drill will take a couple of shots before expiring. Next seed is ready. Random Engineer letting them know that they're there. Ice Wall comes out. Ooh, is going to catch Dahaka. There's the stun. Syl going to be pulled back by Synthesis. Very, very low there. The Fan of Knives starting to come out. Starfall. Syl in trouble. Had nowhere to go. Rexar goes down. Corrosive still looking for a big mosh opportunity, but has warded enough that the objective phase will begin for Heavy Greg. There's a mosh onto 2 in lane, though. Corrosive catching up. Crushing Jaws will get the interrupt with Smackloud pulled away. Blink Heal. Looks like it's going to be enough. Nice job by Random Engineer putting that Blizzard down as well. Push will commence as Maiev goes down to the bottom lane. It being taken down. Corrosive can't get the slide onto Heathen Dawn. Bottom fort goes down, top getting low here. Dahaka in the area. Ooh, Random Engineer catches onto Sith. Nice Ice Wall placement as well. Tyrande going to be in trouble coming out of here. Corrosive trying to peel away. Is it going to be enough, though? Randy Newman taking a lot of damage will go down. Synthesis trying to trade out. That's Orphea going down, though. Synthesis starting to turn this around. Trying to get those resets on Fan of Knives. Misha taken out. Ends up being a 2 for 1.5. Corrosive sliding out. Dahaka able to hearth back to safety. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, this Garden Terror just wailing away on the keep. Unanswered for now. Should take it down to maybe 60%. Solid damage there. Camps are now the focus once again. Picking those up 2 at a time. I see topside camp hasn't started. Chim Chim in the vicinity as well. They might just go across for an invade here. Though I'm sure they'd love to wait till level 16. It looks like they will pounce on the opportunity. Tyrande going into lane here. Uh-oh. Tyrande is nowhere to be found. Corrosive sees them coming. Chim Chim's gonna have to get on out of there. Synthesis. Fakes going in. Nice little double play there. Camp will go over to Hardstuck support group. I thought that was going to turn a lot more disastrous. I was thinking Toronto either needs to be there or none of them need to be there. Heavy Greg on the cusp of 16. It's a little more soak required. May wants a flank opportunity. Corrosive slide goes out. There's the ice wall trapping one. Corrosive is just going to mosh on the spot. Catches 4 targets here. Sill, the only one unmoshed. Smackloud in trouble. There goes Brightwing. Misha is low. Will be going down next. There she goes. Random Engineer about to be put into the containment disc. It's Chim Chim thinking about a follow-up but doesn't follow up. Corrosive with the on-the-spot mosh, saving the engage there as it looked like Hardstuck support group was about to wipe them all up. Randy Newman starts the channel. Looks like no one going to be in range to interrupt. That's another point here, evening it up 1-1 on the Seeds. Corrosive, major flank into the back line, is going to slide onto 2. Can the damage catch up? Omar G is stunned once again. Bumped back, pulled in by Maev. Omar G, containment disc lands. Junkrat trying to set up the trap. Silence is too much. Tychus goes down. Bottom keep is low. Slide through the keep for Corrosive, but has to get away from that cannon fire. Synthesis warps away. Keep goes to about half. Right now, Hardstuck support group have kind of been just running around the map trying to chase down Heavy Greg. You've got to be able to pin him down for a good fight here. Seed getting ready to spawn in the top side. May trying to catch one on a rotation, but no one down here right now. They're just going to step up and see if they can take out this fort. That means another seed point going to be going over to Heavy Greg here. Sill, going to be pulled into the mosh. Corrosive just pulls it on the spot. Tyrande. Wow. The Owl cross map getting that takedown. Would have been 2 if Misha doesn't instantly despawn. And Rexar gets taken out. Nifty play there between Synthesis and Corrosive. Next seed getting ready to spawn in. Could be another set of Garden Terrors here for Heavy Greg. As they work on this camp. Ice Wall goes out. As they catch me drinking water. Isolation will not connect. Laser Drill was committed as well.
Collect the seed, and don't fret about the shamblers. They don't feel a thing anymore.
Coming across hard here. Random Engineer needs to interrupt. Corrosive gets the bump back. Synthesis has the channel. Cooldown was not available, and here come the Garden Terrors. Corrosive looking for another opportunity to slide forward. Doesn't get the hit, but there's that CDR. Smackloud blinking back to safety. Corrosive is so close. Does get the stun. Follow-up is just a hair late. Blink heal is enough to get Smackloud back to safety. Big collapse from these Garden Terrors right now. Potted Plant is down, but this keep is already so low. Corrosive. There's the slide. There's the follow-up. Extra stun is there, and Orphea gets globaled. Smackloud in trouble. Trying to blink back to safety as May stuns onto 3. There come the boars. But the pressure from these Garden Terrors start to do serious work. The core shielding is being hit. Riptire clear in the lane. Chim Chim is committing here to this core. Synthesis going over the top. Core shielding is low. Top keep is down. Core health is starting to drop. Omar G going after Synthesis right now. Core down to 85. This Garden Terror is nearly gone, though. Draken Laser Drill trying to defend. Chim Chim in trouble. Chim Chim is low, but will survive. Core down past 40%. Can they focus it down? 34%, and oh no, is it happening to them again? Tychus will go down as the core is being hit by that catapult. Synthesis running away, has the vault, trying to go in. Corrosive with the mosh onto 2 here, and this looks like a triple and more here for Heavy Greg. They do manage to hold on this time, and GG is called. 2-0 series victory for Heavy Greg. Well done. Quite the series. Heavy Greg looking dominant here in this 2-0. Very nicely played. Hardstuck support group putting up a good fight there, almost coming up with yet another miracle core defense, but it was not to be there in game number 2. Let's go to the post game. Checking out the stats here. Heathen Dawn on the Orphea leading the way on the hero damage for Hardstuck support group, a little over 41,000 there. Sith on the Junkrat, putting in work nearly 60,000 for the side of Heavy Greg. Tahaka also putting in a deathless performance there. 18,000 soak, top siege, looking real good there on the Dino Boy. We'll take a look at the talents as we update the scoreboard, and we'll see if we can get an interview with our winning team. Alright, let's see who wants to come on by.
Hello.
Hello, hello, Farfanugan. Congratulations on the 2-0 victory.
Thank you.
Looking pretty strong out there. Have you guys, were you guys practicing at all in the off season, or are you just coming in fresh to this season of NGS?
So just pumped up, straight full of steroids, going to the gym, repping to know. We practiced a good bit in the off season. That was one of our feedbacks from last season, was like, you know, we want more scrims and stuff like that. So I feel like the I say the middle of summer, but based upon the weather, now is the middle of summer. The middle of summer, we've been, you know, scrimming our ass off. It's been probably shouldn't have cussed, but we've been scrimming our butt off. So yeah, I feel like it's paying off. And you know, we've been able to. We added on Sith there, so that kind of like rounded out our team a little bit more. So we have a little bit more options to play. So yeah, we've been having a lot of fun.
What's the team approach that you like to take in scrims? Do you play on just like one map a bunch? Do you try one comp a bunch? Try to, you know, round out one particular composition? You know, extend hero pools? What's the usual strategy in practice?
All haunted mines all the time.
All right,
no
all
breaks.
right. You got to keep something constant.
Right. No, so usually we want this to be for both teams, right? So we usually try and talk with the other, or we'll communicate with the other team, like, hey, what are you guys trying to practice? Are you trying to practice a certain hero or a certain map? Because we won't ban the map or we won't ban the hero. So if you want to try out a Stukov or you want to try out Duranda, Apather, or whatever, that's fine. Well, we won't ban it. We'll let you get through. And we kind of like seeing what comes our way, so we can kind of adjust on the fly. But we try and come up with some like unique comp stuff that we think might work, but there's not a good way to prove it. You could try Storm League in it, but it doesn't necessarily work out super well.
Yeah, I mean it can go that way for scrims. I feel like what a lot of teams will just go in, it's like, okay, we'll just go play some games and then that'll be it. It's good to hear that you've got like a goal in mind and that you're working on it together, because I feel like it really should be a collaborative experience when you're scrimming, not just, hey, let's go play customs, you know?
Yeah, and like, so that's kind of the thing too. Like, you know, we discussed it beforehand, like, hey, do you guys want to do 2? Do you want to do 3? And, you know, sometimes we spank some other people's butts and sometimes they spank our butts, and usually third games, like, if we're feeling it or not. Or, you know, both sides are like, yeah, do we feel it? But realistically, you know, it's more about this practice. So even if we got our butts kicked or whatever, we're trying out new things, or they're trying out new things. So it's an experience, right? So you have to keep that positive mindset. Like, okay, we'll review this afterwards. We'll look at what we did, and usually after the games, we do reviews to see what we can do, so we can take it in while it's still fresh.
So you mentioned that Sith new to the squad. Is that the latest addition? Has the squad remained mostly intact over the seasons?
Yeah, the squad remains mostly intact, and like our schedules are solidifying. I know I've just like put a ill omen out in the universe. Uncle, had a baby last year. I was on second shift last year, and there's a bunch of scheduling things last year, and now it's kind of solidified out. I'm on first shift. The baby's older now, so he's not as busy. There's a lot of things that are like, all right, we can consistently get this many people. So we have a good number of options.
That's great. It's always nice when you're not fighting around the match to make things work, and you can just focus on the game itself from an administrative perspective. So that's good that things are improving there.
I think last season, they're like Sunday night's our best night because we can get 6-7 people ready to go, and then after that it drops off heavily. So we were at the mercy of other teams, and they were trying their best to work with us, and I really appreciate that. But sometimes it just didn't work out. We're like, all right, I guess we're playing on a Tuesday night at 9:30. But no, Sith is a great addition to the team. Really picks up some spots that other people were kind of filling up. That wasn't their primary role, but they're now they can swap to their more primary role versus trying to fill that little void.
Well, you're looking pretty good out there today. Just sort of looking forward in the schedule. Are there any other teams, matchups that you've been really looking forward to, or other teams in the division that you've played in previous seasons and are ready to meet again?
Honestly, we have a really good relationship with Cho and Gal Rescue Rangers. We scrimmed them in the off season. They're a blast. If you get a chance to cast them, I 100% recommend it. They have a good energy. They play really well. Ban the Alarak. I'm just going to give that advice out there. But yeah, no, that's I think coming in week 5. So we've played them. We know them. It's always a good time, whether win, loss, whatever. And then we also have protectors of Ayer. And we got scheduled the last match of the season last time, and it's the same way again. So I was like, we meet again at the end. We've already scheduled the date. It's October 10th at 9 p.m. It was super easy. Like, hey, you guys want to do this? Yeah, we can do that. All right, sweet. So we got 2 matches, rematches. We've played Hearthstone support group before, and Macro Machines before, and Region Rebels. So it's kind of like it's almost like a scrum club, right? So you've played them in the off season. They know you know them. So it's hard to see in the lobby chat, but there's usually a decent bit of a little bit of back and forth sometimes. Oh, ha ha ha, banned so and so, dang you. So it feels like, family. Div C does a little bit.
Well, it's good to hear that you're feeling comfortable in the division. You've got some big matches to look forward to, so we'll definitely be looking out for those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, congratulations on the 2-0 today. Very well done. The floor is yours. If any shout-outs you want to make before we close out.
Yes. Give shout outs to our coach Zan. He's been there hitting us with the bonk stick. Like, why'd you do this? Well, I just thought, stop thinking. No, he gives us really good solid advice. And usually the video goes, oh, that was good. And then you turn right back, and as soon as he turns the video back on, we walk right back in. He's like, why'd you do that? Because we're dum-dums. Appreciate our Stuck support group for coming out and playing with us. It was a fun match. Appreciate you casting, and appreciate our teammates and the viewers. If it wasn't for everybody else, we wouldn't be here, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on by, Farfanugan. Congrats once again on the win, and good luck going forward.
Yep. Thank you, Krush and there. Have a good one.
All right, folks, that will be it for today's series. Thank you so much for coming on by. Heavy Greg takes the 2-0 victory over Hard Stuck Support Group. Very nicely done. As another reminder, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out daily short videos here and on TikTok. And on Saturdays, we release the Game of the Week, which is our most exciting casted Game of the Week, presented in 10 minutes or less. So make sure you head on over to youtube.com/@KrushCasts to get all of that content. We're going to get on out of here. Next week's streams are already planned. We're Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, all at 9 p.m. Eastern. Head on over to the main page there on YouTube, and you can notify yourself when all of those casts go live. They're right there at the top of the main page. All right, we're out of here. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.